All right, we're getting ready to go. Okay, here we go. We'll call this Committee of the Whole meeting to order on April 28th, 2026 at 6 p.m. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Is there anybody who'd like to speak under public participation this evening? Okay, for the record, there is no public participation. We will start with item number 4 on the agenda. Scott McCoy, update on Tourism Museum. Mr. McCoy?
Thank you very much, Mayor. Just wanted to give everybody kind of a quick update, and I think we might have did you get my email on the slide? Yeah.
Tell me when.
Okay, go ahead and we'll start with that one. So just give you a bunch of updates on where we're at with the museum and tourism, and kind of show you the sign. So obviously we've came to you, showed you the sign that I wanted. We got a lot of great feedback and everything. The problem is we could buy another building for the cost it would be to to basically manufacture and create that and fasten it to the building. We did a lot of crawling through the building and structure and really figuring this out. It took some time. So I went with my second option, which was this. So what you're looking at is the side. If you know the old building, the bank building, is kind of slopes underneath where the doors are. So you're looking at a side view here with the column out in the front. So this is what I call a sign element. It will be LED, so we can drive it and change colors and light it up. It'll be pretty neat. It's technically not a sign because there's no lettering on it. So we'll have other signs that will be for that in the windows or on the facade or even on the side. But this will be kind of the main point where people will see it and go, hey. And it's all open on the inside. So structure-wise for wind and rain and storms, because, we never get storms here, this will survive, and I can do it within the budget. So, and of course, it's covered under the Route 66 grant. So I wanted to show you that because that'll definitely be a big change from what you've seen before, and answer any questions on that. Any questions?
Mr. Bateman?
How much weight would it be just to add the 6 and the 6? Still be an open concept.
Okay, so if we added like the 6.6 and even the route or something in there.
No, just the badge with a 6.6.
With the 6.6, well, any elements that go within it it's not really so much a wind situation, but it's a weight and it's a cost.
Well,
So
how much weight would 2 LED 6s?
With this element, it would almost double it as far as weight, but you couldn't show both 6s, quite honestly, because it's half of a shield. So it'd be 1.6 or 1 and a portion of it. But yeah, so we did everything we could to keep it down. Obviously it's a hollow structure. It would be a translucent skin, and it would look like this with a black border, and then we could change the colors and run it by a computer. Any questions? Okay. The grand opening is going to be in mid-June, but we will have a soft opening on June 1st. So we have started a little bit of promotion on that June 1st. Still trying to get the tourism office and some state offices to see if they all want to participate. I've actually had the state all over me because of a lot of these things. I mean, they're pretty excited about it, especially the Big Penny. And they don't care anything about the benches, the watermelon. No, I'm just kidding. That's popular too. So we're going to do a soft open on June 1st, and then mid-June have that grand opening, big celebration. Hope you all can make it and be there, and ribbon cutting and the whole bit. The grant is going well. We obviously had a very major portion of it in this quarter that was spent. So that is because we made a lot of progress in the museum. And if you have not, several of you have stopped in, but if you haven't, feel free. Anytime we're there, we're pretty much there all day now, every day. I'm there till 11 or 12 o'clock at night. And come in and see the progress. All the flooring is in. We're actually putting the exhibits together now, and getting all the wiring and all that sort of thing done. So it's really a lot of fun. We will be hitting the end of the grant here pretty quick, so it'll be another large expenditure over the next 30 days or so to wrap that up. And lastly, you all know Lexi here. This is one of our exhibit pieces, and this is just a portion of it because obviously it came in parts. It's a gold gas pump replica, but we thought it'd be really neat if we took this gas pump before we assemble it and have everybody sign the inside. So we have some markers. We're going to leave that here tonight, and because there's others we're going to have and pass it around and so forth. Just be careful when you're signing it that not to smear somebody else's, because it takes a minute or two to dry because it's a finished surface on the inside, on the inside of the unit. And then when it's all done, we will assemble that and put that in the museum as kind of an Easter egg. So someday somebody will discover that. If you want to tape a dollar bill to it or something, and do whatever you want to do.
Sign the inside.
The
not
inside.
The face.
Correct.
Hey,
Correct.
Lexi, can you? Yeah, face it. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. And then I'm happy to answer any other questions.
Any questions regarding tourism? How things are going?
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. McCoy. Thank you, Ms. Groves, for coming. Appreciate it. Okay, next up is item number 5, Tremont Street Reconstruction Project Bid. Mr. Landers?
So we had the bid last week for the Tremont Street project. We had 5 bids for the project. The engineering estimate for the project was $2,255,926.48. The low bid last week was for $1,839,372. So that's a pleasant surprise, to get a bid like that. And there was 2. Shane and I were talking before the meeting, and actually the second bid, there's not a whole lot of difference between those 2 bids. So that, they didn't leave much on the table with those. So looking for the approval.
Is council okay? So can you just state for the record which one you're recommending?
We're recommending Earthwork Solutions, and I believe they're from Springfield, Illinois.
Okay. So is the council okay placing acceptance of that bid on the regular agenda? Okay, we'll place that item on the regular agenda. Okay, next up is item number 6, Crawford, Murphy, and Telly amendment to work order number 8 for Tremont Street Reconstruction Project.
I will start this off and then maybe hand it off to Shane if he'd like to speak on it.
Okay.
Basically, this is an amendment to switch the engineering from design stage to construction stage without having to add a new, what's the word I'm looking for, Shane? A whole new work order. So it'd be under the same work order, but it just amended to include the construction engineering for the project.
Questions for Mr. Landers?
That would be the only difference.
Correct. It's just the difference in the amount is to include the construction engineering, yes.
Thank you.
Ms. McClellan?
Yes. Just to back up a little bit, do we need to do the 10% contingency too with 189,000, or is that do you want to do that on a different?
We'll let Shane speak to that.
Good evening, Mr. Mayor, ladies and gentlemen of the
Remember?
council. So when we typically bring forward a bid like this, we like to have a contingency in there, in that not to exceed number. I would, in the past, in the recent past, we've been fortunate enough that we haven't really had a lot of change orders. That hasn't been something that we've had to contend with. This project, because it is a complete reconstruction of the street and it is an old corridor, there's probably a higher likelihood of some change orders. So that's why I would recommend doing the 10%, not to exceed. And that's within the budgeted amount. I know when Mr. Landers and Mr. Conzo were working on the budget, we had given them the engineer's estimate, and the expectation there was that was going to be split between 2 fiscal years. And then similar with the amendment request for the construction engineering, that would be split between 2 fiscal years as well.
So does your memo include the 10%?
It does at the bottom.
So it would be
Okay.
2 million, yeah, a little over 2 million.
Yeah, $2,023,309.
Okay. And Mr. Parrott?
So is that 10%, then that would also include the 10% dollars for the engineering too, going forward?
So I guess, Walt, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but the way the budget is set up, he has a separate engineering line, then he does the construction line.
Yes, that's correct. Engineering is separate from the construction.
Okay, I just didn't know if we're trying to include the engineering cost to include the 10% going forward as well too. Okay, thank you.
Any other questions for Mr. Remmert? Okay. So place item number 6 on the regular agenda. Okay, we'll place item number 6 on the regular agenda. Yep, thank you. Okay, next item is number 7, resolution for MFT maintenance program 2026-2027. Is this Mr. Hoblet? Or Walt? Mr. Landers? Or is this,
I can come back.
Go ahead.
go ahead, Shane.
All right, so this is your yearly MFT maintenance resolution. So included in that are certain material costs for the Streets and Alleys Department. It includes some equipment reimbursables. It includes some labor provisions to there. It includes a pretty large amount for traffic signals as part of your ongoing maintenance of those. Anyway, we work with Walt and with Charity to adjust those numbers each year based upon what they saw in spending the year before. So I think this is the dollar sum that's allotted out of MFT is usually around the same ballpark number. I don't have the last year's number right in front of me, but it's standard maintenance items, and it's something that we track for the city.
Mr. Landers?
Basically, you just look at it as a budget for the MFT account that we use for next year.
Questions? Okay. So place item number 7 on the regular agenda? Okay. Place item number 7 on the regular agenda. Okay, next up is item number 8, A&B sludge tank VFD upgrade. Mr. Mason or Mr. Bounds, which one of you wants to take this one?
I'll take it, Tracy.
Okay, floor's yours.
All right, we're looking at getting 3 new variable frequency drives for A&B sludge tank down at the plant. These are 3 out of the last 5 from the 2000 upgrade that need replaced. None of these have outright failed yet, but we're starting to run into the same temperature sensor errors that we were down at the influent pumping station. Looking for you guys to approve at a cost of $89,000, not to exceed from the equipment line item. This is a budgeted project.
Questions? Mr. Becky?
Andrew, since this is such an old system, it's almost like what you did for the first 2, the last 3 will be done identically then? Or I noticed there was something about different cabinets being made for this one.
The difference with this one, Councilman Becky, is that we have to add a human-machine interface, basically a touch panel that allows the blowers to be controlled. The VFDs drive the blowers help oxidize the sludge to break it down further. We're doing that. We're also adding a piece to this one because there is no network communication down there. We are adding that at this time. It will not be interconnected yet, but that is part of the capital improvement plan that we have. As far as installing the fiber across the plant to interconnect each one of these processes, we're looking at 3 to 4 years down the road for that. But the stuff that will be required for it will be installed as part of this bid as well.
Okay. And I noticed that they said any unforeseen contingencies, because it's such an old system, updating it to now. Do you see anything maybe that might be hidden, or did they pretty much cover that when they gave you the bid for this job?
We've got fluff built in there of 4,250, which brings us to the not to exceed number. The actual bid is for 84,750. The one thing that could come out, there's some underground conduit that we're not going to know the condition of until they start pulling the new wire from the motor to the VFD and vice versa.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay, place this on the regular agenda. Okay, we'll place item number 8 on the regular agenda. Okay, next up is item number 9, Humane Society of Logan County, use of Don Shea parking lot for Rides and Rescues Charity Car Show. Miss Bateman.
This is a fundraiser for the Humane Society. It's on Sunday, July 12th, and they're just asking to use the Don Shea parking lot. There's actually no street closures, but it's city parking lot for that event. It would be from 11 till noon, and then the show is from noon until 3.
And that's a Sunday, correct?
And they did reach out to businesses that it'll affect, Top Hat, Spirited Republic, Sherwin-Williams, and they were, okay with it.
Questions? Okay, place this on the consent agenda. Okay, we'll place item number 9 on the consent agenda. Thank you. Mr. Barrett.
So it's a charity car show. Are they going to be selling stuff? Is it going to be like food trucks, or I'm not for sure how are they going to make
I don't know how they're making
a
the money.
fundraiser?
There may be a food truck. It doesn't say. I don't know how the
Donations or
Yeah, it doesn't really say.
Okay.
Yeah, it does say food truck on the sheet, but that's it.
Thank you.
Yep. Okay. All right, moving on to item number 10, City Parks mowing RFP. Mr. Landers.
Yes, the Parks Committee came to an agreement with the Park District that we would take over the mowing for at least 1 year, and that the committee decided that we put an RFP out for that service. The specifications was sent out, and then the RFP came back. We had 11 bidders, and the bids range from $402.94 to $800. That is per service. So when they mow all 4 parks, that's the total for one service date. So we don't know how many weeks we're going to have to mow, so we don't know what the end total will be, but Big Acre Lawn Care LLC was the low bid at $402.94, and the recommendation is to go ahead and approve that bid for the service.
Walt, I know we have a policy regarding local businesses within a certain percentage. Can you refresh us on that?
Yes, the next closest bid was, and I'm not sure what the name was. I was going to bring that paper with the list of all the companies. Was a local contractor, and it was $70 more, which is 2% is the allowance
Okay.
for a local business.
Okay. Mr. Becky, do you have a question?
Well, who decides like when they have to be mowed? Do they decide how often they mow?
I will work with them at least. We assume at least once a week.
Okay.
It's all in the specifications.
And you're in touch.
Correct. And then if we have a dry spell, and the grass isn't growing as fast, then we may say, hey, let's skip this week. Maybe let's go to every 2 weeks.
They don't mow unless they touch base with you, usually, or
Well, that would be a conversation we'd have at the time,
okay, thanks.
depending on the season and the weather and how the weather's going and the growth.
Other questions? Okay, place it on the regular agenda. Okay, we'll place item number 10 on the regular agenda. Okay, next up is item number 11, renewal of certificates of deposit for sewer O&M fund. Mr. Conzo?
Thank you, Mayor. I think you've all received the memo. It's in the agenda packet, and I've outlined there we have two CDs that are reached maturity in the sewer O&M fund, one for 6 months, one for 9 months is the original term when they were issued. They reach maturity on the same day. They're eligible for the renewal rates, which you see listed there for 6 month, 9 month, and 12 month. My recommendation is that we renew both of them for the 12-month period in anticipation to what is forecast to be a decline in interest rates in the months ahead. No one knows if that's accurate or not, but in anticipation that it is or that it likely will be, I would recommend the 12-month renewal. And what I would ask, put this on the agenda, obviously, for next week, that also if this were Monday night, would you be agreeable to those terms that I just outlined and that are outlined in the memo?
Questions for Mr. Conzo? Okay, so place this on the regular agenda for 12 months, the recommended 12 months.
And if it were this were Monday night, would you be agreeable to that? Thank you.
Okay. All right. Next up is item number 12, ordinance authorizing creating the position of administrative assistant to the director of tourism and establishing the salary. Mr. Hoblet?
Yes, so what you have before you is the draft of what is proposed to be passed, implementing into the code, creating the position of the assistant of the director of tourism. Thus far, this position has been part-time, and I believe they're looking to move it into more of a full-time position. So that is what you have before you. I might change it up to take it the administrative out of that respective ordinance, just call it assistant to the director of tourism. But that would be the only change that I would propose. So I used the template of the administrative assistant to the council and removed and changed the duties along with other respective changes so for the appointment, even though the director of tourism is a third-party contractor, that he would give, bring forth, the recommendation to the mayor, who then would get the advice and consent of the council, which is not unlike several other areas within the code, or like, say, a police chief will, for their respective deputy police chiefs, give a recommendation to the mayor, who then advise and consent the council. So that is what is before you here. I'll answer any questions you guys might have.
Questions? Mr. Parrott?
So I know we discussed having any money that is raised through the sales of the products that they would have there. Do we have an ordinance, or do we need to create an ordinance? Because then we talk about having that go to help fund the position or to go back into tourism.
Go ahead.
Mr. Parrott, I have thus far I've not created an ordinance in regards to the sale of goods by a municipality. Like I say, within tourism, I would presume very touristy type trinkets or whatnot, for lack of a better word, that you would sell. So I would look into that, but if that needs to be necessary, that would need to be passed. I presume, Mr. McCoy, I don't know your timeline off the top of my head as to when you would start selling those items.
We plan on actually selling in the gift shop at the soft opening, June 1st.
June 1st.
So some of those items are now being put on order, and we should be getting them pretty quickly. But there will be other revenue generating processes here too, such as ticket sales into the museum. Eventually sponsorships. Chicago Bears or somebody wants to sponsor something, I'll take it. But there'll be any of those revenues, in my assumption, would go right back into tourism.
And there is a line item in the budget for the retail sales for hotel motel, correct? Yeah. So it's already in the budget. I guess I would leave it up to Mr. Hoblet whether we need to.
I'll look into it, Mr. Parrott and council. If we, by their timeline, it would have to go on the next cow. So,
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay. Place this on the regular agenda. Okay. We'll place item number 12 on the regular agenda. Mr. Hoblet brought this up also, and I didn't see it on here, but do we need to add the advise and consent to the mayoral appointment of Ms. Groves to that position on this upcoming agenda? That is the intent, is to move her from part-time to full-time. So if the council does authorize the creation of the position, the next step would be to the appointment.
I think that would be accurate, Mayor. I would say just have Ms. Gross be appointed after passage of this ordinance.
Is council okay with that? Adding this? Okay. We'll add that to the agenda. Are you gonna leave you can leave it in there. I don't think it's good, because she does do some administrative functions for Mr. McCoy. She will.
Like I said, I was just kind of mulling it around in my head.
Yeah.
So I can keep it in there. It's fine.
Okay. Yep, we'll leave that in there. And then, Mr. McCoy, I'll need a recommendation from you by next week for that. Okay, thank you. Okay, next item up is item number 13, ordinance for building codes. Mr. Hoblet.
Council, you passed the building codes last voting meeting. So this ordinance is implementing those building codes along with various other codes. There's residential codes, swimming pool, things of that nature. There's implementing it into the city code. I sent a draft to you, it's just approximately an hour ago. It's kind of giving you an update as to where I am on it. There's one more set of codes that need to be implemented in there, and I need to work out. I'm going to phrase the body of the actual ordinance. The whereas, therefore be resolved. Other than that, what you have before you is pretty much complete. This will be ready by the voting meeting, and it's just reiterating what was previously passed, the adoption of the 2024 building codes with Mr. Woodhull's additions, deletions, and amendments, and the adoption of the appendices. So it's taking directly what he had for those and implementing it in in that document there that you have before you. I'll have any questions if you have any.
Questions for Mr. Hoblet? Place it on the regular agenda. Okay, we'll place item number 13 on the regular agenda. Okay, that brings us down to announcements. I've got a couple. The first, Third Fridays is fast approaching. We're still looking for volunteers. We need 9 people total to help with that event, and we have 4 available positions. If you are interested, if you go to the Third Friday page on the city website, there's a sign up Genius form. You can quickly jump out there, sign up, and then we'll get you engaged from the Third Friday committee. The last one, aggregation letters have been going out. I know the clerk's office has been getting calls on that. The individuals that have questions, they can contact their alderman. If you need to, you can contact myself or Mr. Chager. The clerk's office can help you with that, but I think they would prefer not to. They would prefer to get it into the hands of.
There's been a few people that's asked how we came up with, what was it, Direct
Energy.
So they must have missed that meeting where you voted on that. So that's an explanation of people want to know where that came from, because they're used to Constellation. They didn't know why it changed.
Yep. There is a there is a page out on the website that gives some general information about the aggregation process. There's a video from last year, Mr. Chager, which explains things, and everybody should be getting the letters in the mail. We've got the samples. I can put them on the website too tomorrow, and that should give you a good idea. Mr. Bateman?
So I told a couple of my constituents that I would explain this as detailed as I can. Stone River Group is our broker that we use to go out for electric aggregation, and for the last few years, Constellation was always the better option for electricity. This year, they happen to not be. It's this Direct Energy. So that's where some of the confusion is coming in, is what happened to Constellation? Who's this Direct Energy? Again, it's because Stone River Group is our broker. That's who Mr. Chager works for. He is the brokerage firm that goes out to try to get us the best cost of electricity. This year, Direct Energy was that choice. So that's where that letter lies in. I hope that clarifies with some people. It is still an opt-out option. So if you don't do anything, you're in the electric aggregation. If you decide to opt out, you fill out the card, mail it in, and you're opt out, but you would have to wait till the next year's cycle to opt back in, and Ameren has not posted their rates yet. So the decision's up to you, but that's how Direct Energy became the topic of the letter.
Just a couple follow-ups. And Kevin, did they ask, because I had people ask, how is this a savings over Ameren? Did we do a, how many years?
1 year.
A 1 year, because we know it's going to be high this year, but we're expecting it to go down next year.
Well, again, the answer is it's hard to tell if it's going to be a savings. It always has been, because we lock in the rate now. Ameren does not come out with their rates till June. So it seems that every single year when Ameren comes out with their rates, by going with electric aggregation, there was a savings, and Justin put up that chart where the four households that councilmen that sent in their bills, there was a savings. Some of them were more than others, but that's dependent on your electric use.
Yep.
So, it potentially is a savings. More than likely it will be. I don't know that Ameren's ever come out with lower rates.
Can they opt out after Ameren comes out with their rate?
Yes. But they can't get back in for 12 months. So if you opt out, you are out of the program for 12 months. So
I would hold on to that card and wait for Ameren's rate.
Yeah.
Then you can decide to opt out.
But when the contract's over with,
When our contract's over,
yeah, in a year, so that'd be,
we'll go through the process and we'll lock in a new fixed rate.
but they can get back in. It wouldn't have to be a 12-month.
12-month from the day they opt out, regardless of the end of the contract. We can confirm that with Justin. Well,
I thought once the year was up, everybody's back in, and the new rate, they can opt out again.
let's confirm that. My understanding is it's a 12-month for that person, but we can confirm that. And what I've been telling people is, and the one thing we have to remember is this: the city gets nothing from this. This is an effort that we do for the people of Lincoln. It is merely an option for people to choose whether it's right or wrong for them. They have to make that decision. In my opinion, I know my household is going to follow through with the opt-in, and because it has traditionally saved us money. But at the end of the day, it is a gamble, because our rate is fixed regardless of what Ameren's does, and Ameren's goes up and Ameren's comes down. You just got to figure out this fixed rate in the middle, if it all evens out on the front and the back end. So you've really got to pay attention to your bills and your usage, like Mr. Bateman said, and weigh your odds. So, but again, if anybody also wants to talk with Mr. Chager, he's glad to talk with anybody about it. So, yeah. Okay. Any other questions about aggregation? Okay. Mr. Landers.
Yes, I just wanted to announce that this will be the final week that we have the extended days at the landfill. It's currently Wednesday through Sunday, and then after Sunday, we'll go back to the Wednesday and Saturday hours.
Okay.
Can you give those hours, because we had someone.
He contacted
Yeah,
you too?
8 to 3:50. 8 AM to 3:50 PM.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Has that been updated, that voicemail?
I'll have to double check. I asked that to be done. I'll
Okay.
have to make sure.
All right. Mr. Becky?
Did that say 8:30? Somebody.
It said 8:50 on the voicemail. Yeah,
PM.
yeah,
Thought.
Yeah.
yeah. So, yeah.
Busy
it's-
day.
It's,
Mistake.
yeah, I mean, on paper, a 3
Got a lot
looks
of
like
things
an 8.
going on at one time. So.
Yeah. But the
I'm sorry.
website is correct. All the information on the website
There is a
accurate.
sign on the fence that says 8 AM to 3:50 PM.
That's what I sent them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So
here's the sign. But they went off of that.
the message.
Yep. Okay, anything else, Mr. Landers? Okay,
Oh.
Mr. Parrott?
Yeah, I have something for going back just to the mowing of the parks and such. So we kind of figure maybe 40 weeks, 40 times they're going to mow. Was that we're kind of
40 is probably too many.
too many?
Mm-hmm.
So during the fall, is there any expectation of leaf removal or anything like that in this bid?
It's just mowing services.
It's mowing services, so they'll mulch.
They have
leaves.
the mowing service, the cleanup and all that is included. You know, if they have to pick up sticks and trash and things, remove that before they mow. But, you know, I would assume mulching the leaves when they mow, you know, when the fall leaves start falling.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
I wrote this down, but Mr. Downs, would you like to talk about your fundraiser last Friday?
Yes, I was gonna wait till. Yeah, I will. It was awesome. I had such a great time. It was a successful event. First year I'd done this. I'm gonna do this every year. There was a couple little hiccups here and there, but I'll iron those out for next year. Financially, it's a fundraiser, so I'll never say we raised enough money, but we raised a respectable amount of money. So that was good. The night went smooth. The crowd was smaller, but they were passionate people to be there, and they were passionate for the cause. I had 4 campers stay overnight. They toughed it out. It got cold, but everyone had a blast. It was so great. Lincoln Daily News wrote up a fantastic article about it. You know, there's kids out there that had fun. My dog was out there greeting everybody. Everybody just had a wonderful time. What's that? First off, it's a he, and then secondly, he didn't move. What?
He was following Sam around with his eyes.
Yeah, no, I mean,
It's like, Dad, why you keep leaving?
yeah, it was just such a wonderful event. I'm already pumped up about it for next year.
Sam,
So-
for the people that are watching, can you tell everybody what the event was?
Yes, I will. It was a camp out fundraiser to raise awareness and funds for homeless veterans. The money went to Central Illinois Veterans Commission, which builds the tiny homes here in Logan County. There's like 10 homes here in Lincoln, 3 or 4 in Atlanta, and 2 in Atlanta, and I believe there's some in Mount Pulaski, correct?
None in Pulaski yet.
Okay, well, that's for future plans. Maybe this money will go towards
They-
that.
The next ones that they're building is down by the Lincoln Rural Fire.
Sure.
On the lot in the back that was donated by a gentleman.
It's an excellent cause. It's a cause that everybody can get behind, and everyone got behind it. It was the speech that Dan Benedict gave. I want that printed out. Like it was a beautiful speech, very moving. Everyone just had a wonderful time, and I encourage everyone to participate in the future. Like it was even if you don't donate money, just come out. It was free for the community. You know, I mean, there was free food, snacks. People don't camp enough. People don't visit Memorial Park enough. I want to give a big shout out to the Park District for letting us use the park. Heritage Packaging for donating the boxes. The other box factory, Illinois American Paper, is that right? International Paper thank you for donating boxes. They came in handy. It was fun. It was great, and I hope everyone who attended, I know several of you did, I hope you had a wonderful time as well.
Well, thank you for doing that. It was a worthy cause. Civic does a lot for our veterans, and I think this event is.
One more thing, I also want to thank Julie King. She was fantastic to work with. She was a terrific person.
Yeah, I think our community stands behind our veterans, and it shows. And this is just another example of it, so thank you. Okay, anybody else have an announcement? Okay, if there are no other announcements, I would like to request a motion to go into executive session under 2C11 litigation.
I'll make a motion to go under executive session 2C11.
Second.
Okay, Alderman Downs made the motion, Alderman Clemmons second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Clemmons,
Yes.
Mrs. O'Donoghue,
Yes.
Mr. Anderson,
Yes.
Mr. Bateman,
Yes.
Mr. Becky,
Yes.
Ms. McCullen,
Yes.
Mr. Parrott,
Yes.
Mr. Downs.
Yes.
Going into executive session at 6:40 PM. There will be no city business to follow.